Now, I'd like to draw your attention to something which is extremely worrying, and this is something to do with our media. Now, you'll remember when this Argurea ballot printing issue came up, we had a report in a very famous, very popular, very respected national newspaper, and this report tried to tell us that this Argurea thing was just a tender war. It was a tender war between those in government, in Jubilee, and those in the opposition, NASA. Now, my dad used to have a very favorite phrase of his. He used to say, "Hata kama mtu hajaenda shule," or rather, even if you have not gone to school, you should be able to reason 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, let us reason here. We have an election before us, and surely, do you think there would be a tender war going on over ballot papers? How stupid would somebody be to get involved on either side of the political divide, to get involved in a tender war over ballot papers, instead of simply ensuring that their man wins the general election, so that they'll be able to get all the tenders they want over the next 5 years? Do you get my drift? Yeah? In other words, it beats logic for anybody to start chasing tenders with so much determination to do the printing of ballot papers, when common sense tells us that those who chase these tenders right now, they're not interested in anything else except getting the right government, as far as they're concerned, back into power, so that they'll be able to get all the big tenders that they want, NYS, etc., etc., etc. Yeah? And even on the opposition side, they have their own people. In fact, the people backing some of the people backing the opposition are the worst tender corruption people this country has ever seen. Okay? But anyway, my point is very simple. This newspaper misled us, and it did not mislead us because the journalists there, to quote my father, hawakwenda shule. No. This newspaper misled us because somebody planted that information in that particular newspaper. That is the truth. Okay? Now, this other person who planted the information in that paper, what was the motive? The motive was to divert the attention of the public away from the Argurea issue, and try and turn around the issue so that people no longer start looking at it like the dirty thing it is, which smells, the thing which threatens our very elections, but instead to look at it as a petty thing of where some people are fighting for tenders. That's all. Yeah, what you're meant to believe is, hao ni watu tu wanapigania matenda, hii si kitu kubwa sana. Yeah, that is the whole idea. And of course, a lot of Kenyans have swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker. Of course, a lot of Kenyans believe totally what is printed in our leading newspapers. Okay? And in fact, I've seen even in social media, a lot of people have taken this piece of information and they've run with it. And they've spread it all over social media, therefore getting a lot of influence. Of course, the people who planted this are extremely clever. Of course, the people who planted this have been trained in tactics of diversionary tactics, propaganda tactics, etc. They've been trained at the taxpayers' expense, mostly in foreign countries. These are very well-read people. Yeah, these are people who have studied the tactics of one Herr Hitler. Yeah, Adolf Hitler from the Second World War. You can Google if you have no idea what that is. Yeah, and some of the propaganda tactics he used that today are still textbook cases for people studying certain courses in universities and other institutions of higher learning. Okay, that's really what it is. But my worry and my big concern here is how somebody who's a patriotic Kenyan, yeah, I don't care where he works, I don't care who he works for, but this is a patriotic Kenyan who has got a conscience, can go ahead and plant such misinformation and try and mislead Kenyans so much. Yeah? But anyway, maybe I should not be concerned because a lot of this has been going on in Kenya for a very long time. Anyway, this is Chris Kumekucha. Until next time.